Dosage instructions, like I said before, the drugs help. I don't know about that, but dosage should be I guess it should be, but I would imagine that it's probably more helpful instead of just doing a blanket for everybody, because that's just not practical, I guess is the right word. That's not, it should be like at least vaguely tailored to the specific person or the specific illness, and then if need be, the specific person. Like, not necessarily in that order, but like generally in that order. It's like, oh, you have a fever and you have diarrhea, let's just give you the same thing. Like, no, you're going to tailor first towards the illness and the symptoms that lead to the illness. And then, if need be, or probably, they probably do this, maybe, I don't know. You would then, on top of all that, tailor towards the specific person. That makes sense. Your own free will, huh? To become like sheep or whatever? She's in already. Holy, isn't a whole cult. Jesus. And he has 2 now. Damn. Wow, I'll bring you to justice. Fuck you. For the crimes that you've done. And which goes off the back of what color are you, right? And it's kind of interesting because he's doing that, and the sibyl, he's doing what the sibyl does, kind of. What the sibyl does is it's like he's not doing it exactly the same, but hear me out. The sibyl checks your hue, determines your hue. It's like, okay, hey, what hue are you? What color are you? It checks it, and then it judges it judges you itself, and then it enacts justice, or it tells its fingers or its hands or its eyes to enact justice on you. Meanwhile, him, so far at least, it seems like what he's doing is he's posing the question. For the crimes that you've committed, for the things that you've done, and the way that you've shaped our society, and the way you've made our society now, and the people that are suffering that slip through the cracks, no shigaraki. What color are you? And then, fuck you, I'm bringing you to justice, because presumably, or maybe he already assumes that the color's bad. So it's like, okay, your color's trash. Fuck you, I'm bringing you to justice now. And it's interesting that he's like, what color is the system? But then at the same time, he's like, I'm gonna bring you to justice. It's like either way, question mark, or is it like that's rhetorical? I'm asking, that's a rhetorical question. What color are you? That's rhetorical. Fuck you, I'm bringing you to justice because I know you're bad. It's like he's already kind of like presuming it or whatever. 3, 2, 1. And here we go with her. It's your job, nigga. It's partially at least your fault. She is freaking out right now. He's chilling. And Akane is chilling. Look, nah. Listen. Like I said before, 26.3, by the way. I need to write that down. Like I said before, I'll probably do it like post. Like I said before, he's a weirdo. Like, they were painting him in way too much of a good light, I feel like, up until this point. And now, and especially after the chief was like, keep an eye on him. I'm looking at you different, buddy. And now, especially because he's like sus of Akane, because he's like literally facing towards the kid, like her name's Maki, facing towards Maki. He's like, you're just dying. Literally turn around and Akane is chilling in the cut in her bag, doing her thing. And he's like, what's up with you? Now, either he's A, suspicious, or he's probably like, I'm going to use you as a thing, or maybe like you're a disease or something. Like, I get that vibe right now. But yeah, he's. This guy. Keep an eye on this guy. Oh, very clear. What do you mean by that? Interesting. And she peeps it. This could bring Maki and her closer together. And his how very clear. Maybe he's like a sleeper agent for fucking Kuro, or what is his name? Fuck, I forgot his name. But yeah, he could be like a sleeper agent for him. But yeah, he could be like maybe like a sleeper agent type thing. Oh, very clear. Like maybe in the past, 321 in the past, 351. Maybe in the past, he did some things, had the highest crime coefficient in history, and then maybe they like were experimenting on him or trying to see how he got the way he got. Maybe he came into contact with Kuroi. Let me find out his name right now, because this is actually kind of making me mad. Kirito, Kamui, fucking hell, Kamui, Naruto, Kamui. Maybe he came into contact with Kamui at some point, and then they somehow got into it, and his crime coefficient went down. But it's like, one, even if they capture him and they were doing like experiments on him or something, how the fuck did they let him go? Two, why didn't they just kill him like I said last episode or a few episodes ago, whatever? Why didn't they just fucking kill him? And then three, it's like, yeah, it's like that just makes no sense. Like, how would Kamui get in contact with him? Like, how? Like, I don't understand that. Like, especially if you know about him, unless I'm thinking about it all wrong. Roll all that back. Unless it's more of a he did a thing or he did some things, his crime coefficient went up, somebody clocked him, or the sibyl clocked his hue, and then they were just like, okay, we got a face ID, blah 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 blah. And then he got the contact with Kamui. And then by that point, the sibyl was like, nah, don't kill him. And because everybody's, I don't want to say sheep, but because everybody follows the sibyl blindly, not blindly, but like they follow the sibyl without really questioning it a lot of the times, and they just do what the sibyl tells them to, the hands of the sibyl or the eyes of the sibyl. The name's kind of appropriate. Because they are what they are, who they are, they just follow it. And because the sibyl was like, nah, he's good now, they were like, I mean, I guess. And then they made him an enforcer. Maybe that's the case. Because I feel like any other thing, they would either, the sibyl would either take him and like experiment on him or make him a part of the sibyl, or like, but he's not a Makishima, so that's not even true. He's not like Makishima Akane, so that's not even necessarily true. Like, I feel like the sibyl would just kill him, or they just kill him, because why wouldn't you, right? But yeah. Yeah. She chilling. She's a Makishima, bro. Exactly. What's up with you? And again, like, that's maybe why the sibyl was interested in her. Like, it knew, it had to have known. I don't even remember if I've said this before yet. It's been a minute. But like, I feel like I've brought this up before. It's like maybe that's why the sibyl was interested in her. She's like Makishima. But she's just like, not a coin flip. I don't even want to say that. Because like, I haven't even really been parallels between them. But like, I don't even want to say that. That feels just wrong to say. So I'll hold that back. I'll roll that back. But it's just like, yeah, she's different. In the same way, maybe, possibly. I don't even say that like as a for sure thing. But she's similar to Makishima in that sense. Like they're like a certain type of breed. Right? And like, it might have something to do with her past. Like, we don't know anything about her past. Now, if she was just normal all throughout her fucking life with nothing ever, then I'm like, I guess. But like, we've gotten Ginoza's past. We've gotten Kogami's with Makishima a little bit. We've gotten Kagari, I think his name was. Yes, I was right. Haha, fuck you. We've gotten Kagari's with his I was born in this shit and that was it. On some Emporio shit. Um or I think Bane too, right? Whatever. Anyways. Like we've gotten uh Shimotsuki? No. Fuck. The gay girl. Shinoza? No. Shimotsuki is Mika. Fuck me. Yayoi. Got it. We've got Yayoi's shit with her little fucking girl band, tomboy bullshit. We've got hers. Like we've gotten a majority of we've gotten the old man's kind of a little bit, but that's kind of connected to Ginoza's backstory, so that was more character development to hop off of for him. So I feel like we could get some more shit in the future, but I feel like we generally got everything from him, the old man, and then on top of that, he passed on his will in a way to her and to Kogami. So right, Kogami took it one way and she's taking it kind of one way. And she's taking what the old man said, like, and did with her, and then she's taking Kogami shit too. So she kind of took both of them. So it's like a linear line type of thing. Now, that being said, I feel like we've gotten generally a lot of things on everybody except her. Fitting because she's an MC, but like we've gotten fuck all on her. Like, do we even know if she has family? Where her family at? Where her mom at? Where her dad at? Siblings? Hello? Where'd you come from? Who are you? Like, I don't even remember if we've gotten anything on that. I'm pretty sure we don't, because I feel like the most we've gotten is like that little scene at like the very first episode of her and her girlfriends talking about what job she's gonna get into, and then she kind of had like, oh, I don't know. And I feel like I remember looking down at some points at specific questions or specific things being said to her, and she was kind of like mulling it over or something. And then after that, we kind of just got straight into the site and into the enforcer shit. So it's just like, hmm, when are we gonna get shit on that, right? I feel like the key maybe lies in there. Maybe it's just a play on the MC shit. On the MC shit, as in like when main characters stereotypically like some bad shit will happen. Maybe they'll cry for like 2 seconds, or maybe they just won't be shocked and they're like, I'm determined because I'm the fucking MC Tatakai and I have to work harder. But yeah, maybe it's just that shit. Maybe it's just like a play on that. Like explaining it away, like this is the reason why, blah blah blah. Kind of like how JJK is like, oh, our pacts or whatever. We explain our shit to the enemy because it's da 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 or whatever. Because it makes us stronger, and there's like a in universal reason as to why they do that. Maybe it's like a play on that, or maybe it's a play on that, but also some other shit all on top of each other, like layered or whatever. Is that even possible? You mean like you? I hope they don't do this, but Akane is making it seem like Kamui is just some fucking cunning, just giga brain 5 chest. I know your darkest secrets and desires, and I can lure you over here because I'm just so fucking smart. I'm not saying he's not smart. I'm just saying the way Akane just phrased it made it seem like Kamui is this fucking giga chad, where he was like, "Yeah, man, I lured her over here," and like he somehow just impossibly won over an inspector. Like, come on, come on, come on. What are we doing right now? The bitch didn't tell anybody where the fuck she was going. I don't know why she did that. That's stupid. And I'm not. This isn't really a big thing. I'm just pointing this out. I don't. I hope the story doesn't try to paint it like, come on, we let an inspector there. That's so fucking. That's a crazy fucking 5 chest feet man. He's so smart. Because I don't think that's that impressive. At least the way he did it and the way it came about. And it's again, it's not even like a knack on his intelligence. He's obviously fucking smart. No shit, we know this. But I just that was just her fuck up. That was just straight up. That was just her fuck up. So it's just like, you know what I mean? To me, at least. So it's like that's not like a plus one for his intelligence to me. Look, so you really think he's that good? Like, it's very different though. Yeah, for 1000%, it's completely different. It's kind of in the same general area, but they're just different breed. Like, they're just different breeds of that breed type of thing, right? Where it's like you can say that maki, shima, and kamui are like similar, but they're not the same. No way, shape, or form. I feel like at least in the vibe, the one that like they're just completely different. You know, Akane's right. They're along with them, right? Like they're kind of similar, like in some ways, but they're just different, right? Probably his motive and why he's doing what he's doing. Was that animation weird or was that just me? What the fuck? Or like, like tilting her head, and then the doctor being like, you know what, like doing like the hand thing that anime people do, and they're like, I don't know, and then him sipping his coffee. Like, was that just weird? And then it was like all opening her cup, and then it switches over to the outward angled view from above them. Like that was that weird? Is that just me? What the fuck? Don't talk to me. I can't tell if he's disposable or not. His thing's interesting. Who the fuck is that? Hmm. Hmm. You know the. Okay, you're obviously affected. You're just being fucking weird. You being by the book by it. Whatever. Fine. And with the animation, like, is this like just a special episode? What the fuck is happening? Like, I feel like, uh, Aoyan, not Aoyanagi. Fuck. Um, I just looked up her name. Yayoi, Yayoi. I feel like Yayoi's fucking face like was weird right there. Am I fucking crazy? Hold on. Like, is it just is it my computer? Is it the? I don't know if it's the color. I don't know if it's her lips. Something is just weird about her face right here. Am I crazy? What's happening? What the fuck? It'd be weird if it didn't, at least a little bit. Maybe. I feel like. I don't know. Maybe I'll roll all that back. I don't know. Alright, here we go. Oh my god, I love you. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just. Wait, I might be. Interesting. The worst person to ask. I feel like she's a fucking robot one too. Like she doesn't. She's not gonna like. She's like not dumb, but she's like I think he's blah blah blah. Standard answer. It's like, okay, you're fucking useless in this regard. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not she's gay for her or she loves her or whatever. Maybe it's she's just like it's just weird Deku shit where it's like I idolize you so fucking much. Maybe it's like that. But we'll see. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm holding both in my head though right now. Who the fuck is this? You just switched out. Did they switch out? What the fuck just happened? Oh, so I'm in charge of this case, huh? Maybe I'm reading that wrong. Because they were just right. So I'm in charge of this case, huh? They're like, oh, I see. So I'm in charge of this, right? But with the line right, blame me, I can't take responsibility for it all. And so it's seeming like from it's seeming like so I'm in charge of this case, huh? Like they were just appointed to this body, or like in conjunction with the body with the consciousness that's normally within this body, right? Because I think one of them died because Makishima fucking murdered the fuck out of him. Maybe, or maybe one of them didn't die. I don't know, whatever. But I don't remember. I might have to go back and look at that because I feel like that might be important later. I don't remember the name given either, but I think maybe that was just like an intro to the idea that hey, the sibyl is inhabiting this person, and it's like a collective full of people, and this person is linked to the sibyl. That's like brought up to be this thing. I think that was maybe just an intro to that, and I don't think that that name given maybe at least right now was that important because they were like, oh yeah, I know you. You're that guy that wrote that book that long time ago about that one thing, and after that, Makishima fucking almost killed him pretty much and blew up the fucking plane. So I'm like I feel like that was more of an intro to the concept. However, me saying that, I feel like the reason why they didn't give their name, but why would they, right? In this scenario, that would make that would be kind of, I think I'll say make no sense or be weird, but that would be a little weird. It's like you get switched out and then you say your full name in the body by yourself in your room by yourself when everybody there, the sibyl knows what the fuck is going on besides you. Why wouldn't you just say, oh, so it's me that's appointed? I got you, right? But anyways, I digress. Roll on all the way back. The line spoken here makes it seem like, at least I feel like, that they're being like, oh, I'm appointed. But this line makes it seem like they're either talking to the rest of the people in the sibyl or they're talking about Akane, looking at Akane. And this is kind of like Akane's thoughts, where they're like, oh, I'm appointed. That's one subject. And then they go over to a whole different thing where now in this line they're talking about Akane. Or maybe they're like looking at somebody talking about somebody else, or maybe they're talking to the people in the symbol, or maybe they're talking about the situation at hand, about what situation that they've come under after being appointed. I don't know. It's weird. I feel like you can take a bit from this. I don't know which one it is. Um, did that make any sense? um, yeah. All that being said, um, I'm gonna for now very, very, very loosely gonna go into the assumption that somebody got switched in, maybe. Um, and it may be that one person. I don't remember the name that introduced themselves as Makishima that turned into has like a woman's body or whatever. I'm gonna assume it's that person because I feel like the way they said it, maybe we should know who this person is, or maybe it's gonna be like a reoccurring character if they didn't die at that moment, which is why I brought up the whole. I feel like that they were like a one-off to introduce us to this concept, but who knows? I don't know if that made any sense. Haha, press play. I can't take responsibility for it because we can't change the past. Let's do our best to make use of which to make use of that which was brought to life. See, this again, it could be like, let's do our best talking to the other members of the sibyl, or let's do our best talking to Akane and referring to herself itself and Akane, or it could be talking about the, if I'm remembering this correctly, the two people within that body at the same time, right? Or maybe they all inhabit it at the same time, but they could just switch it up. I don't know. See, it's just like these three lines like have different, I feel like, subject matters, or it can. Am I even using them right? Whatever. Stop. Roll that back. I feel like they're talking about like three different things possibly, and it's just kind of like it's kind of like layered. I was gonna say double entendre, but that makes no sense in this regard. I think whatever. You know what the fuck I mean. Hopefully. Uh, yeah, it's kind of ambiguous a little. I feel like. Yeah, we'll see though. No, in order that we may evolve. No, no, they're definitely talking about the symbol. And I just remembered right after this, and they're like, "Oh, don't you think it'll be fun to see how she evolves?" So no, she can't be talking about Akane, right? Because right after that, she's like, "Oh, don't you think it'll be interesting to see how she changes or whatever, how this affects her or whatever?" So they can't be talking about Akane. Aren't you curious? It would be interesting how this affects her. Yeah, they have to be talking to the members of the symbol, right? I don't know, maybe. Even though I say that, I'm still not like 100% on it. I'm still like, in the back of my head, I'm like, but they could have been talking about other shit. That's still gonna be back there, just to clarify. No, you're trusting it too much. Exactly. Thank you. You're trusting. No, there's some things that it misses. Like that's just true, and we've seen that again with the Makishima. Blah blah. I'm not gonna hold the spill again. Like we've seen it already. It's like, come on, man. And everybody knows about Makishima. Like fuck off. Like everybody knows about him. Like how? Like what? Out of date on. And Akane's being very like chill with her. Like she's not exploding on her. She's not whatever. I feel like with how much Akane is like tasked with, low key, and burdened with, and how much she's probably thinking about shit. She's being very not like kitty gloves with her, but she's being very like calm and patient. She's like even when Maki is like provocating shit or like being aggressive or is doing stupid shit, Akane's just like she's like blank faced. She's like, I know what type of person you are. Like, I know. I feel like she gives off the air of like, I know what type of person you are. I know what you're doing. I know where you are in life. I'm just gonna answer your questions. I'm gonna give you advice along the way, and I'm just gonna keep it moving. I don't have time to deal with your bull. Not even like I don't have time to deal with your bullshit. I'm just gonna do this, and that's it. It's kind of like it's automatic for her. I feel like at this point, I don't know how to explain it. It's like she's giving off like Maki's the rebellious child, and then yeah, kind of just she's not getting mad, she's not getting emotional. Like she's just like, yeah, okay, whatever. And she's being very calm, very like chill, very whatever. And again, I don't know how to articulate it necessarily, but it's just a certain vibe where I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Akane's being very like, I like it. Like I don't know how to explain it, but she's being very calm and patient with her. She's not like patronizing her. At least that I remember that I've seen yet. Like she's just being like Akane yells at her. She's like, I mean, Akane, Shimotsuki yells at her, and Akane's like, yep, blah, 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 ABC, that's it. And then she keeps it moving. And like, I feel like she doesn't really act like that with anybody else. Like, even with Lambo, I don't remember his name. Even with Lambo, I'll look it up later. Even with Lambo, like, she was like, hey, Lambo. And he was like, yes, yes, ma'am. Can you do this? I know you can do it. I feel like I know you can do it. I'm counting on you. He was like, okay. Like, I feel like she knows her people, and she's like, I'm gonna fit accordingly to you. I guess kind of like Suga, huh? Not necessarily like Suga, but like she sees it, she peeps it, and she's handling it accordingly. Like that's very interesting. Like it's kind of different. I feel like on top of that, it's different with like Ginoza and Yayoi. We haven't really seen her interact with yayoi this season, I don't think. Again, she's a fucking robot. Like, the only time I remember yayoi and her maybe interacting was like one person removed, where uh Shimotsuki was being fucking stupid, and then yayoi was like backing her up low key, but like that's it. Yayoi is just kind of in the fucking back doing fuck shit right now. Like, I don't really. She's a drone. I don't care about her. She's whatever. Meanwhile, with Ginoza, they have like a different relationship, and it's, I'm not gonna say deeper, but they understand each other. Like, it's very not quaint. It's very like simple. You know, with the whole togane scene with Ginoza in it, and Akane in it. Akane was like, she was lost in thought. Togane Ginoza was like, "Hey man, be careful." Togane stepped in, but like, they understand. Like, Ginoza and Akane, they understand each other. Ginoza was like, "Hey, I know you're gonna do what you're gonna do. Be careful. Don't end up. You know, we know what happened. Relax." And it's kind of like, yeah, they understand, and it's like, it doesn't have to be this long form discussion. And they're just like blah 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 blah, and then that's it. I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of interesting, like how she interacts with everybody, especially after the whole season one shit in the first episode, where she gave that answer, wrapping it all back to Maki. She gave that answer to Maki, where she was like, "Nah, man, I just did it because that's what it said to do. That's it." I forget exactly what she said, but she gave an answer where it was like, "Okay, are you doing this because of your ideals and because of season one akane, or are you doing this post season one and you like becoming more like, not like ruthless, but like not cold either, but like analytical?" I forget what I said specifically too, but you know what I mean if you know what I mean. Like, that response she gave, I'm like, what does that mean, akane? Are you telling the truth? Was it really just because of sibyl blah 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 blah? Or were you giving that answer as a cover up to shut Maki up? Right? Or was it a little bit of both? Right? Where it's like, I have my feelings and I have my ideals, but in order to like enact them on the world and not be looked at as weird or get as much pushback, to get as far as I want to go with my ideals, I have to wrap it up like with like a lot of political bullshit. I have to wrap it up and make it palatable, or I have to give logical reasons to why I do what I do, because otherwise people are fucking like weird about it, right? Um, Yeah, because it's like, if you're just emotional and you're like, "Oh, I feel this certain type of way," people will push back hard as fuck. But they're like, "Okay, but how does that make sense?" Da 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 da. And I just feel like not everything has to be logical, and you don't need a logical reason for things to feel a certain type of way. And I feel like people are kind of too wrapped up in that a lot, and it's fucked. Um, yeah, it's an. I'll say this and I'll shut up. Like the My Hero Twice thing, right? I saw a lot of people being like, "Damn, I feel for a villain." This is the first time I've ever felt for a villain, which is already fucking stupid. If this is the first time you've ever felt for a villain, I feel like you're a certain type of person, and I wouldn't fuck with you, because I've always liked villains, for a multitude of reasons. But if that's the first time you've ever felt like, and like people have been making villains like sympathetic for a minute, or like, you just, that's you. That's literally just you, regardless. And I feel like a lot of the people that were like, "Damn, I feel for Twice." People in the comments were like, "Oh, but Hawks have to do it." Hawks just sucking off Hawks. Hawks have to do what he had to do. Blah 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 blah. And it's like, okay, I understand that, but that doesn't make their feelings not okay. That doesn't make my hate for Hawks or my disdain for Hawks in that moment not justified, or like not. I don't want to say valid, but not valid, like straight up, because it's like, I can have an emotional response to something, but then after that emotional response, or even during that emotional response, I can still be like, okay, pragmatically, logically, of course, you have to do what you have to do. It's war times, blah, 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 whatever. But at the same time, I can be like, fuck that nigga Hawks, because there are these circumstances surrounding that thing that either Hawks does or doesn't get in universe that we see as a third person point of view that will obviously change our way of thinking about the situation. You can't just logic your way through fucking everything and be like, logic, logic, logic. Otherwise, else, fuck off. Like, that's stupid as fuck. Okay, be a robot then. Like, there's no fucking point at that point, right? I feel like we have emotions for a reason. Um, and it's just like, yeah, I feel like people have to, and I feel like a lot of those people that like felt for Twice, kind of disregarded their feelings, because they were like, "Oh, it doesn't logically make sense because he killed people and because it was pragmatically viable." Am I even using that right? Just because it was like the most logical way to do things, and they couldn't articulate their emotional response to that, and like articulate why they felt like that and why it was justified. I feel like they kind of dismissed their feelings, and I feel like that's trash. And I feel like a lot of people in a lot of the comments of reaction videos were like, "Yeah, man, Hawks, 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 Hawks." And then like if you were like, "Damn, fuck Hawks," people are like, "But why is saying fuck Hawks? What he did was right because A, B, and C and D." And then if you don't give a logical or equal logical response back, then they're going to be like, well, you're just wrong because fuck you, logic, logic, logic. And it's like, bro, I just can't feel emotional. Like, goddamn, I just can't have an emotional response anymore. Fuck me. I have to logic everything out at all points in time. I'm sorry. I don't even know where I was going with this. Yeah, I feel like I kind of, I'm sorry. I feel like I kind of, her interactions with these people are very, very fucking interesting. Whole tangent aside, I'm sorry. But yeah.
下月について色素が改善に向かっていることを理由に釈放を求める通達が厚生省から届きました。
Yayoi go again, doing what I just said that she did, coming in, one person removed, interacting with Akane, seeming like defending her, explaining the situation to Maki's stupid ass because she doesn't under fucking stand where she's at or what she's doing, while still acting all big and okay, let me stop. Yeah, just again, it's happening again on both sides, on Yayoi side and Maki's side and Akane's side. Akane's interacting with Maki, just like how I said, it's very interesting, very quaint, not being aggressive, not being whatever. Maki doesn't know where the fuck she's at or why Akane's doing what she's doing. She doesn't know what the fuck's happening at all points in time. Or she's doing all this shit again, and then Yayoi again, she's coming in after the fact, being like, "This is why Akane's doing what she's doing." There's a method to the madness. You just don't understand. This is what's happening. Fuck off. Like again, it's happening again. They let him out. That's interesting. Maybe I'm viewing the Sybil shit as too like hard. It's too like rigid and hard. But I feel like, can you blame me with everything that we've seen and how people interact with the society, especially the enforcers? It's like I didn't expect him to release the doctor. No, well, I'm not gonna say I didn't expect him to release him, but it's just like, what was that? Like, what was that process like? Right? It's like, hey, yo, I'm gonna request to the chief that I release him, and then chief was like, okay, cool, but maybe Akane's getting preferential treatment because we did see the chief was like, yeah, it's better to keep her within our system and give her a little bit of wiggle room than her go AWOL like fucking Kogami, right? It's like it's easier to control her when she's in the chain of command rather than her just doing her own fucking thing, right? So maybe she gave her like a pass for that, or like a pass for these things in regards to this case. I was about to say that guy looked kind of wild. He looked crazy a little bit, and then these guys look dull and like spaced the fuck out. I think I kind of seeing what the other guy was saying, where he was like, "Yeah, this medicine fucks you up." That guy, I don't remember his name, but I'm gonna put him on the screen. The guy with the old man with the white hair. Yeah, I feel like she was like saying, "I see," as in like this is probably where he's at, or I see Kamui's plan or whatever. But then I feel like on top of that, again with the layers, I feel like she was saying, "I see his point." Like I see what he was saying now. Looking at that crazy guy, and then looking at these like spaced out, just fucked people, and she's like, "I see." While looking down, I feel like it's kind of again layers. The double hit us with the double. Random. Okay. So he was like, I didn't think I would ever come back here. Okay. I was like, who is that guy? But yeah, okay. It was this. It was him. Setting up for him. Got it. Detective intuition, huh? Nice.
そう思っていらっしゃるなら、それは危険ではないでしょうか。
Oh, crazy how you of all people bring that up. This might be where the teacher bites back, right? On some Maka and Stein shit, where it's like it's Black Star. And it's like, nah, nigga, it's you. Specifically, you bring up she's too hands on, better than being overly passive, like you did yesterday, bitch. Easily could bring that up as a counter. Might not want to go this direction, buddy. As teammates. How she when she says that she like you hear the zipping sound like she's zipping up like how she's like adjusting her tie. She stands up straight with her hands behind her back and looks up slightly like she's so justified and just on point and by the book. Like she's so proud of herself. Like relax. Okay. Concerned about a colleague, right? Treatment. Again, what is treatment? Right? Like, bro, I'm glad everybody's on the same page. Like, she's such a like a Girl Scout. Like, bro, this shit is I ain't gonna say more nuanced, but it's just like it's not just like, yeah, you do it like this and that's it and that's it. Even Division 2 is kind of like doing their own fucking thing where they're like, yeah, she's the teacher's pet. Fuck Akane. This is annoying to work with that bitch. We're just gonna step back. Fuck it. Even they kind of have a little bit of edge to them with how like by the system they are. They're just like, yeah, fuck it, just fire, fuck it. They even have a little bit of edge to them. She's like, even Ginoza does kind of like at least now understands it, and he's like, don't get too obsessed. Don't get too deep into it. Like, just pull back a little bit and learn to step away. She's like, so far, kind of the only one that's like, and it's like, bro, you're gonna. Even the chief is like, I don't have time for this bullshit. She's like, is that all you want to say? Okay, I'll think about it. And she's like, that bitch is gonna die. Like, okay, like we're kind of all on the same page now. I'm kind of getting like whatever about it too. I just don't care anymore. I'm like, do your thing. I don't care. Let destiny decide. No Phoenix. Interesting. Is he a stand-in? This one's a fake. And the real one's dead or something. Hmm. Who are you? Hmm. Oh, and he immediately was like, yeah, fuck it. You call me. Division 3, being fucking stupid. Here we go. And I was just giving y'all, you have a little bit of edge to, and that doesn't mean that they don't have edge. They're still trash, but do your fucking job. At least stand on alert. Like, fuck me. Okay, at least these two are looking out. They're okay. Oh, here we go. Wait, what? No way. No, they're making an inspector do it? No way. No way. Or maybe he knows. I don't know. Whatever. I don't think he knows. I think he's just. Oh no. It's not just him. Y'all gotta go. Yeah, he's just chilling in the cut as usual. And they're far away. Maki, what are you doing? You know what? Actually, yeah, do this. Fuck it. Togane is a little bit sus. That's fine. Wait, what was that? They, their faces look weird. Personal distance. Okay. Psychological barrier. Okay. I'm not convinced entirely with this. He's a plant. He's a plant, and he's inspecting her eyes and her and all her bullshit to either giving him the benefit of the doubt, absolutely being charitable. He's somehow find out about this implant shit because he's so smart and he's so like perceptive that he found out about this fucking not the prime minister. I don't remember what his name was. The guy gave the politician wasn't the same politician as the other guy, and somehow they were like switching faces. And he was like, "Okay, your eyes, mouth, nose, and ears, or whatever. I mean, your eyes, mouth, and ears are they the same? Are they different? Ooh, how are you? You know, how'd you act before to now? I'm gonna stick close to you to see, look at your personality." Which is maybe why he was looking at her weird when he pointed his dominator at her because he was sussing her to be like, "Are you the real Akane?" But then, which would be interesting. This whole time, it's not really Akane. That would be very interesting. And then, but on the opposite end, it's just he's a plant, and he's like, "We're gonna take your face, and somebody's gonna pose as you, and then we're gonna fucking kill you or whatever." It's one of those. I feel like this is kind of where it's pointing. It's one of those two. That picture is so weird. The faces look weird. Like the him on the. I'm assuming that's him on the left. He looks like an old ass man in a short body, and then the woman question mark on the right looks just mad weird. It's just something weird about it. Both people in the picture. Most so the lady on the right though. Assuming it's even a lady. Might be somebody in a fucking face mask. Now that we have that as a thing. Um, I don't really have anything else to say. I've went on a huge tangent. Um, just yeah, like I said before, Takane is either like a spy for Kamui, or either he's like somehow wrapped into the whole ideology of him somehow, and he's like scoping out Akane to steal her face and shit, and like body swap, body snatcher, and or somehow because he's so perceptive or something, he knows about it, or maybe this ties into my other theory, the later one that I had, where it's like he came into contact with him, but he wasn't like swallowed by his cult charisma bullshit, and he just knows about him. So he's like, okay, you're kind of sus, Akane, and he's trying to scope her out. But yeah, it could be that too. He's A, obsessed and trying to get her to scope her out, or B, I mean, he's obsessed with her and he's trying to like face steal her, or B, he's like sus of her and he's trying to scope her out. One of those two. Um, the obsessed one has to, I ain't gonna say has to, but pretty much has to have him involved to be with Kamui in some type of way. Meanwhile, the sussing her one can or can't be have to have him involved with Kamui or meeting him at some point. It can or can it can't or can have him, like it doesn't have to have him meet him, but the obsession one does. Yeah, yeah, I think I said that right.